What's up? What's up?
Hey there, how are you?
Good, good. Everybody, I'm happy to be here with another episode of James Massey Live, where we're doing this every Thursday at 11 o'clock. We're interviewing an agent that's killing it in their industry. Just simply to bring tremendous value to the real estate agent, within our career and our business. So I'm here now with Erin, and super excited about like some of the stuff that she's gonna be able to bring today. Just all around good person, but more importantly, she's a giver. So Erin, for those that don't know you, um, how did you get into this real estate business? So, what's the backstory from everything?
Absolutely. Well, first off, James, thank you so much for including me in your show. I feel very honored to be part of a very exclusive group of amazing agents and people in the real estate industry, real influencers. I'm really honored that you decided to have me on. Thank you so much.
Nah, no problem. I'm happy you came on.
How I got into real estate, really, I think most of us have that really simple story. It usually isn't like we wake up, we're born and we go, I want to be a realtor when I grow up, right? And that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That actually was my husband's probably more that wanted to go into real estate, growing up in that business. But really, there was a paper article, our newspaper advertisement about, pay you while you go to school and about being in real estate. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. I think I could do that. That's how I got into real estate. That's it.
Wow.
What kept me in real estate, though, was my husband was at the time still in the Air Force and was not looking to make a career out of it. I was a stay-at-home mom and was on the side, either babysitting kids or working retail, what have you. I don't know if I really thought beyond like this was going to be a full-time thing. My husband ended up re-enlisting in the Air Force. Wasn't really wanting to do that, but I was like, hey, we're not in a position really to spread our wings. We need that security, right?
Mhm.
And very close after that was when 9/11 happened, and not even 2 weeks later, he ended up getting deployed for about 6 months. Needless to say, the person that had been like, no, 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 you can't get out. We need that stability. You need to stay in, was feeling like a real piece of dog poop right about
Oh,
then. And I vowed then that no matter what, even though I didn't know if I necessarily knew what I was doing, I was going to work so hard that when it came time for him to either get out or re-enlist again, that it would be a no-brainer that he could get out and join me and us be a true team as we always had been. And I say that's kind of the history.
wow. It's funny, like the people have different motivations for anything. Like they always talk about the why, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and your why was simply because you didn't want your husband to get reemployed. Going back into to that part of it. But let's talk about that a little bit. So like just diving into that. There's steps that had to be taken, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got that why, you got the thing that you really want to do, but then there's steps that have to be taken to ensure that why is accomplished. So what were some of the things you did early on to establish yourself so that that why is accomplished?
Mm-hmm. Um, I think it's really important for everyone in any career or in any aspect of your life where you're looking to improve, to grow, to go beyond yourself, to unmask your inner superhero of sorts, particularly if you are not one of the people in the world that is just a natural, charismatic person. Which I don't really see myself as that, like, oh, everyone's going to follow you sort person. I would say the steps that I took was take your natural motivations, your natural inclinations, your natural curiosities, and build on those and kind of don't overthink it. Examples would be we all know that we've taken out buyers for the very first time. And I remember my first clients like it was yesterday, right? And I remember, like, my broker was telling me about signing the buyer exclusive buyer's agent so that like they're your clients and no one else's. And you're talking to your first clients and you barely understand what you're doing. And you have people that really aren't going to sign something right away. So you start working with them, though. It's like you talk to all your mentors, and they're like, just put them in the car and go out and start looking at houses. You're like, okay, I can do that. I can do that. And I can do that, because that is a very natural thing, is to, like, getting together, getting people together, taking care of people, making sure, listening to them. That's a big one. Listen. A whole lot more listening rather than talking, right?
Yep.
Or telling. Listen, and ask lots of questions, and the right questions. So back to that scenario, we're out looking at properties and all that. And one thing I did was, one day, is they had just moved over from overseas, right? And they were living in a hotel, and they had their teenage daughter and their kids and all that stuff. And I knew that they were sick of looking at houses. You could tell they were bored out of their minds, right? And their parents are stressed out. So I just put together a little bag of, like a teen magazine for the daughter, some stuff for the kids. The one kept on complaining it was hot, so I got him like a little cheapy little fan, little stuff like that, and just gave it to him the next time we got together. And that one simple little thing, something I would have done since the time I was a little girl, giving little gifts to people, right? To make them feel special, make them feel heard. Not even halfway through the day, they're like, Erin, we're ready to sign that paper you were saying. And I was like, no problem. I left something out in the car. Give me just a second. And I ran out to my car, dialed my broker, and was like, hey, they said they'll sign that thing. How do I explain this? Right? So definitely working off your natural inclinations. Don't feel like you have to abandon yourself and who you are. Listen to your gut, and just treat people like you would want to be treated, how you normally would do things. Listen and ask lots of questions. And what would be the other people? I think those are really, really key things. And don't be afraid to work. Don't be so focused on the outcome. Just kind of doing the next right thing. Looking at it as a puzzle, and you're there to help people solve a puzzle.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, what I used to always say is, like, be married to the process, not the
Yes.
results. The
Yep.
results are going to take care of themselves if you're doing the right things. Um, you know, just going back on what you're saying, like just taking people out. The brokers, when I first joined before, they got like bullpens, right? So we're all in the bullpen, and agents talk or whatever, and they talk about all the stuff that they're not going to do. And so one of the biggest things, like, I'll never take a buyer out unless they sign a agreement with me. I'll never take a buyer out unless they pre-approve first. And you start hearing that stuff, and you start like taking it in, and like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna start doing that.
Right.
So I was actually in a situation where I'm talking to buyers, and like, hey, well, you need to get your pre-approval letter. And I sent them to the lender, and I had this great conversation with them, and then I don't sometimes hear from them for a while. But but then I get a call from the lender, like, hey, so and so just went under contract. Congratulations. Like, what?
And you're like,
I
oh no.
didn't, that wasn't me. But what you're really saying is, like, the rapport wasn't built, right? Like,
Right.
the rapport wasn't there, and that's what happened when you went out and you met with that buyer, and they didn't sign the agreement, but the rapport was built because you was giving them a gift, and you was being your natural self, and they saw you cared for
Yes.
them, and then at that point it's like, all right, where do I sign? What do we got to do? Erin is my person. Like, I connect with her. Let's go ahead and have her to help me out, right?
Right. Definitely. Think about when you start any new relationship, business or personal. And I think that's the thing that we have to remember, no matter where we are in our career. If we're focusing on agent attraction, landing that whale, or focused on a big client with a very luxury listing that you're like, this is so beyond, I've never sold anything like that. All of those things. We have to remember that people are all just people. And we all have our own little things that were going on in our head. And even when someone maybe reacts to you negatively, 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with you. It's they've got this other stuff that's going on. But it is just so important to remember that people are people. And just as much as you want to show up and you want to do a great job, you want to give a great presentation, you want to make them feel so comfortable that they instantly build that rapport and that trust, be it an agent or be it a potential client. They want you to like them and to think they're special, and for them to feel seen and heard just as much as you do. And that you almost need to take it back a step and remember that they're just as uncomfortable and wound up and worried and stressed and nervous as you are. Maybe for different reasons, but that core thing is the same. That really just treating people and recognizing everyone are their people. And another thing that I think is really important, that is a core thing that I realized when I was very beginning of age, and I've tried to continue to go by that principle as we've been going through, and you build and you start doing new things, is that you've got to succeed with strangers first, for people to see you as an expert.
That's right.
Or someone of influence in that particular role. And it's not anything that's against you. It's just the nature of things. And so it is super, super important that our business, though you have to truly, we're talking about being ourselves and building that trust, rapport, letting people in, letting them see the authentic you. There is a lot of things that you have to present yourself in this, the best version of you. You do need to step it up. You do need to fake it till you make it, what
Make
have
sure you
you,
make it.
right?
That's right.
You've got to do that. And in order to influence people and people to see you as an expert, you have got to step things up and do things, despite the fear. Push through that terror. Do things out of your comfort zone, but still bringing in those natural inclinations of yourself. Kind of like how we met.
Yeah.
We met at Sprint. And if you had put us up on stage for you to interview me, or vice versa, I would have been so nervous, and we would not have gotten to know each other,
Yeah.
or been able to make an impact, or bring, come from a place of contribution, because you might have been completely comfortable, but I know I wouldn't have been.
Correct.
Whereas we casually were sitting down with a bunch of other people that were at Sprint. We're excited. We felt honored. We felt special. We felt heard, right?
Yep.
Sat down. We were in that good, like, creative and open and coachable spot, and just talked.
It's amazing what happens when you just have those type open conversations, and that's when the connection happens, and that's when so many things just kind of take off from there. But so I want to talk. I want to give you like a whole lot of praise right now, because I saw something, and we'll put it up there. So your team just hit a milestone, selling 3,196 homes, while you personally sold yourself 1,378 homes. Now I know this number is higher now, just simply because when it was put out, but those are amazing, amazing freaking numbers. Like, I mean, congratulations for that. And what do you contribute some of that to?
Those numbers, and I am, like, of our team, I'm not the number person. I am the, like, relationship person, detail sort person, right? That's my role, and that's what I contribute to our team and to our business, what have you. But seeing those numbers, at first, I always think they're not real, right? I'm always like, those are inflated. I'm not that person that's like, 5 million, blah, 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 so they use 6 trillion billion. I'm like, that's not real. That's not real. And then I had to go back and look at it and really just do a quick math equation and go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But the most important thing to always come back to is there is absolutely no way any of that could have happened without surrounding ourselves with quality people, both business and personal. I will 100% say that there is no way that you and I would be speaking, or any of the things and numbers that happen, if it weren't for my husband. He is my best friend. He is my partner. We have known each other since 7th grade. We grew up together, and I feel like we both push each other to be the best versions of ourselves. We are the toughest critics, the toughest critics, and we will call each other on our bullshit for sure, right? The first ones. But if anyone comes for us, it's like, step down, we're honey badgers, the same as you would be with your kids, right?
Yeah.
So surrounding yourself with quality people, there is no way we could have done anything big in our lives, including that accomplishment, without my husband. It has always been a team, even if it's been me selling, both of us selling, all of those things. The other thing we do with any agents that we've brought on our team, quality people that truly embrace the core values and are all about the most important core value of our team, and that is leave everything better, period. You don't have to expand upon that. If that is how you wake up every day and go to sleep every day, and that is your driving force, all the other things will come together. And then absolutely all of the mentors we've had along the way, our coaches, our family, definitely our clients, the people that saw something in us, even if the numbers weren't there at that time, even if they were first clients, second clients, or a couple years in, but they saw the quality in us, that we truly were there to leave everything better, and that we were going to pour ourselves into everything and anything we did. Even if it wasn't perfect, we were going to die trying, and you don't give up even when it's hard. And that's all anyone wants. That is the only way it's been possible, is our amazing clients that have become wonderful friends and like family, and all the repeat business, all the referrals from there, all the testimonials people have left, the quality people that have been on our team, or even our partner agents like you, who you surround yourself with. And if everyone is generally based off of that, leaving everything better, anything is possible, including those crazy numbers.
Like, how do you find people like that? Because not only just for your team, but like if I'm just an agent and I don't have say an amazing spouse, which I do, by the way, but I'm just saying,
She
like,
is pretty special.
yeah. But if you don't have that amazing person there, like how do you attract that, or what suggestions would you give in order to get that part of it to kind of get moving?
To get moving, if you don't already have that person.
Yeah.
I do think it's important sometimes to step out of, well, not always step out of your comfort zone, maybe kind of making strangers your circle of sort, not always relying on family member, because when you succeed with strangers, that's when family and people have seen you in other capacities. That's when they'll see you as success or an expert or influencer in that. It is so important to really start engaging in the community around you. If you've not sold one house, if you have not attracted one person, you need to get over yourself and get on camera. That is the place where everyone is, even if you're terrified of it. And that is something I've been terrified of forever. It wasn't until 2020, when I came to EXP and joined the Honey Badger Nation, that I got on camera. Didn't get on camera before because I was horrified of it. You've got to do the things despite the fear. And the horrible thing is, you've got to document it. You've got to put it out there for everyone to see. You need to be vulnerable with the right kind of people. That attracts the right kind of people. When you are authentic, when you are coming from a place of contribution, when you are not looking at all of these people around you that you're networking with, like, how do I pick someone? Pick to network with the people that are doing what you want to do on a high level, and engage. Get on their podcasts, comment on their things. Everyone's human. Everyone worries about, no one's going to show up to my podcast. No one's going to show up to my party. No one's going to hear me. This is going to fall on deaf ears. I'm going to be sitting in a stadium and nobody's going to show up. Everyone has that fear, no matter how successful they are. In fact, you probably have those fears more the more success you have, because it's like, well, now you've gotten here. And the true test of how amazing you are is if you can stay there or go on up, right?
Yeah.
Surround yourself with those quality people, with those people that are doing things on a high level. Engage, come from a place of contribution. We all have something to offer. Here's an example. We came into EXP. We'd been in business for a long time, but if anyone had asked us, hey, Erin and Bryant, would you tell an agent to follow you guys? And we'd be like, hell no. If you'd like to know the recipe of how to work yourself to death and be on the proverbial hamster wheel, yes, please come to us. We are experts on that. We can show you exactly how to work yourself into the ground. But we realized that we needed to really step things up and surround ourselves with people that were doing what we wanted to do on a high level. And that's what we did with Honey Badger Nation. And it's like, what do we have to contribute? What do we have to contribute? And sometimes just being vulnerable and putting a question out like, what we're really struggling with presenting opportunities to people and getting people to listen and not just having people brush us off. And we'd had all of these amazing agents like Chuck Fazio, Brian Pruitt. Those are two that I can think of right off the bat, reaching out to us and being like on the phone with us for an hour and a half. And you half wanted to go, I am so flattered that you're doing this. Do you realize who I'm not? Do you think I'm someone else? Like that you've broken into this Ivy League school, that you're part of the 1%. You've crashed the wedding, that sort of thing. But you come from a place of contribution, and we realized there were things that we could offer. There were things that we had done in our business and in our lives that had brought a lot of success and helped us to have quality people attracted to us, just maybe in a different capacity. So I'm all about come from a place of contribution, surround yourself with people that are doing things on a high level, and engage. See how you can help them. And that alone will help to build relationships with them, where it's just the natural progression that you're open to the business, the attraction, all the different things that will come to you just by being out there and putting yourself out there and showing your vulnerability and your success. Your process.
I love that.
The process. Being in love with the process, right? Rather than the outcome. There you go.
That's it. I mean, I love that. Just simply, I get people to reach out to me, and I'm willing to share everything, right? I've reached out to other people, and you sometimes, to be honest, you're a little nervous because you just don't know if the person is going to respond the right way, if they're going to have time for you. Chuck was one of those guys as well. I sent a message out to him through Messenger. He responded back, and it was like, got on the phone with him, started talking to him. He started sharing his information. I'm just like, man, that's pretty freaking cool that this guy's just sharing this information with me. And it happened with so many other people. Veronica was, really good.
Yes.
Gil Ramos, just opening up, sharing what their experiences. You just got to put yourself out there, right? You just got to stop pitying you and just saying you're not worthy and just no, I am worthy. Mm-hmm. I should ask. If the worst case scenario, they say no, but if I don't ask, it's a no anyway, right?
Right. And that'd be even worse.
Yeah.
Right? It's so that way. And I love it that you've brought up those people. Really, I think what made the big difference is that interacting, Brian getting on and myself getting on, and us, listening to people's things they've done, and he can put things together in really beautiful spreadsheets and easy of how to read things and sending those to people. And that was a way to engage. And then setting up where we were interviewing agents, just kind of like you're doing to me, and letting them kind of do the heavy lifting. And more importantly, the questions you're asking them, structuring them around the way you interact with people, how you get to know people, rather than it would be silly for me to get on for someone, even though I want to know it, to get on and be like, how much have you sold? How much do you have in revenue, who are all your people, all those different things, which is really inspiring and different things, but it's also very intimidating to a lot of people. I know, myself included. That doesn't inspire me. That just makes me think oh, I knew you were amazing. Now I really know you're amazing. And now I feel stupid to talk to you. So instead of, before I would interview these agents, James, I wouldn't go and look up a bunch of things about them. Even if I knew some little things, I wouldn't go read the stuff, because that would just that would intimidate me, and I wouldn't be able to be natural. So instead, we have these 4 to 6 questions we ask them that are just core questions, really getting to know those people. And you can't help from those questions to get to know someone and for people to kind of not be the business card version of themselves, like that, like, I'm so perfect, and really get to the core of what drives them, what's their why. If you could go back to, if you could tell your adolescent self one thing, what would it be? All these like core things and the amazing nuggets, gold nuggets that came out of that, and getting to know those people on a personal level. And then when you're meeting them at events, it's like you know this person. And you really can sit down because you feel like you're on an even playing field and be open to the amazing collaboration that both of you can bring and enhance and enrich each other's lives and businesses, rather than coming from a place of, oh, well, they're here, why would they talk to me?
Yeah.
Or I'm here, why would I talk to that person? Just people, and coming from a place of contribution sort of thing. That's Sprint. I was all of those things. I was terrified. I was excited to go, but I was terrified. I don't know if anyone else is like that, that all of a sudden you're like, nothing you own that you wear, even if you love those outfits, nothing's good enough. You're just like, why should I even go? You're putting things in your bag that you're like, oh, I'm going to have this ready to give to someone if need be. And then you sit in your hotel room for 20 minutes going like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Don't give them that gift. Don't write them a thank you note. They're going to think you're so stupid. But then you just get over yourself and you like walk up to the speakers like Veronica, like Curtis, like Scott at the Sprint. And I just gave them a gift bag with a very heartfelt letter from both of them and a t-shirt with a phrase, gritty AF, which was a stupid thing that we had coined from some dumb thing I had said at a mastermind, and we'd stuck. It's like, I don't know if I'm good at anything, but I am gritty AF because I will not quit. You want to know how to be successful? I don't quit. I don't quit. And I gave them those t-shirts and I was like ready for them to be looking at me like, why are you doing this? But why would they do that? They're also collaborative sort people. Everyone loves a gift. I love giving gifts. I love making people feel special and heard. And it's important for people to know how you have enriched their life. They think it's just everyday things they're doing. They're used to doing all these speaking engagements. This is just like same old boring stuff that they do every day. But it wasn't boring for me. And I felt super honored to be in their presence. And I had to do something, just a little something to say thank you. And that was when you start really realizing you always have something to contribute, even if it's just a little thing, right?
Yep.
Surround yourself with those people, and the gold nuggets and the growth you'll have will far surpass anything you have in mind. Always.
I was talking to somebody and I was telling them like my natural instinct is just to kind of fall back, right? Like I mean I'm more of an introvert more than somebody that's outspoken. And when I say that, a lot of people they don't think that, because I get down, I do these interviews, I try to do that stuff, but like I'm just thinking like we was talking about Sprint, even the Sprint. I remember being up in my room and I was just like, all right, you have to make yourself go downstairs.
Yes.
And you got to make yourself go to talk to people because
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do. You're at a networking event, you're at a learning event, and people have some stuff that they can share that's going to help you out in your life. You have some stuff that you can share that's going to help somebody else out. Stop being about yourself, get yourself off your mind, and go make something happen.
Right. I mean, it is so, isn't that the funniest thing? Is we were both sitting in our rooms having the exact same thoughts, and we think no one else feels that way.
Yeah.
And that's so not true. And why do we get so stuck in our head, even if we know that? We know it logically, but for whatever reason, like our heart, it's like we just overthink, and sometimes it is just like you have just got to get over yourself and literally be like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Someone laughs at you and goes, you are just so dumb. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking to me? You don't belong here.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that can happen. It's like, that's going to hurt. But what's going to hurt worse is if you sit in that room the entire time
Right.
and waste an opportunity
Yeah.
that others would kill to have.
Literally kill for. I mean, I would not have met you. And like,
Exactly. We would have just
so
sat in our rooms and grabbed something from room service and just sat there and ate in our rooms and thought like, okay, oh, I did all that heavy lifting. I don't have to go and do anything else. I don't have to talk or shake hands or kiss babies anymore today. Ooh, I've done it.
man, it's a testimony that two introverts, like us, can actually do what we're currently doing. Make the number of sales that we. What's the number again? I just want to, just for everybody out there,
Uh.
3,196 homes sold. And personally, 1,378. Somebody that's in a room thinking about, I need to just stay here. I can just stay here and not go out and meet people. I mean, that's freaking amazing. So, if any of one of us can do it, I guarantee you somebody else can do it. You just got to get plugged into the right system,
That's
right
right.
programs in order to make stuff happen. Erin, man, it's been a freaking pleasure, honestly, just talking to you and having you to share your story. I am so glad I got out of the room and met you.
Me
I'm
too.
so glad that we went to dinner
Yes.
and enjoyed that dinner together. And I'm really looking forward for us to continue to talk and network and be a benefit to each other's business. Are you doing Dallas by chance?
On the events, I'm all about the go to the events, telling all my people go to the events, go to the events. You get so much out of it, but I always am very rarely will I be planning ahead. At
Yeah,
this point, no, but we tend to be kind of the last minuters that it's you know what? I'm feeling moved. Let's go do it. It was
yeah,
an amazing event last year.
yeah.
Everyone go to Build. Amazing.
Definitely go. But I mean,
Sounds like a go.
between the next few, I'm sure I'm gonna see you somewhere.
Yes.
Once again, for everybody, we do these every Thursday where we're interviewing an agent that's killing it, just simply to create a lot of value within the real estate community. And I appreciate my friend Erin for going on and sharing her story. Hopefully, everybody got a whole lot of it. If you want to know more about real estate in of itself, you can reach out to me and we can talk. Reach out to Erin as well. You want to know about what partnership looks like, reach out to me regarding that as well, or reach out to Erin. Once again, appreciate you, Erin. Until the next time, thanks for sharing. Love talking to you, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.